up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Super Gamer Boys. I'm your host, Colonel and Dad, Garrett Morlang, and here in the virtual studio with me is the king of video games and resident superstar, Adrian Holmes. What's up, Adrian?
Hey, so how's your back doing? Because mine's kind of hurting, carrying the...
It's been pretty sore lately. Like I'm not gonna lie. I've asked Trudy for a massage the other night. It was like, man, just hurting so bad.
Sharing the load of carrying the show.
Yeah,
just
right?
us two, man. Every time seems like every other week we got to carry the show.
Yep. Yeah. So yeah, of course, what we're getting at is old JJ Purdom left us alone again. He's like, hey, you know what? I'm too big time over here. I got a new job.
I got my
cool
to lick.
podcast. I got all this stuff. I don't need these guys anymore. So yeah, he's off gallivanting around the country doing who knows what. Probably causing trouble.
You should have seen him when he was getting ready to take off. Oh, he was giddy in his seat. Oh boy, I wonder what kind of leather these boots are made of. Can't wait to taste them.
Oh man. Yeah, well, how's your week been? Been anything interesting happen, or just regular old week? Sometimes a plain week is fine. That's a good thing, actually.
Yeah, I wish there was such a thing as a plain week. It always seems like when I come home, there's always something I got to do, or somewhere I got to go, or somebody's having an event or something like that. And it's just like one day I want to come home and just not have anything. I gotta stop being such a personable person, I guess.
Yeah.
Because people keep wanting me to be at things and I just want to lay down. That's really the gist of it. Maybe I should just be mean from now on.
Yeah. You see, just for like a week, week, be like, let's be like, no, and just like turn people down. And just I'm gonna sleep, and just be honest with them. Be like, no, this is my week to just do nothing and sleep. Like I'm just taking a break from people in the world for a week, and then you can do that, and then go back to normal. But yeah, man, I get that. I'm just a yes man. I'm not necessarily a personal person, but I'm a yes man. So people are like, hey, can you do this? I'm like, yeah, sure. Can you do this? Sure, okay. And then next thing you know, I'm doing
do these three other things, please.
Man, and one thing I am stoked about, dude. We got some cool stuff coming in October.
Yes, sir. I was just working on my thing today.
We haven't necessarily talked about it too much on the show. I tweeted about it this last week, but just saying, like, you guys are not ready for what we're going to be dropping in October. We have like so much stuff that we're dropping, and I don't know why I decided to do it all in 1 month. It's just fun because it's the only spooky month that we can do spooky things. And so maybe I just need to be smarter and be like, hey, it doesn't have to be spooky. We can just do cool things any time of the year. But yeah, we have kind of like essentially a pilot season of a show, or whatever, maybe like our limited run series. And then we have another little series that we're dropping. It's going to be weekly. And then we have our regular,
don't give all the game away.
Game streams. What's that?
I said, don't give it all away.
I'm not telling anyone. I'm not giving specifics. There's two new kind of like limited run series, and then there's what was it? And then just like obviously the normal, like, hey, streaming games or playing games with you guys, showing off spooky games throughout the month too. So it's like, oh man, it's a lot, but I'm excited. I hope you guys are all excited too. I wish
avalanche coming your way.
I wish I could just be like, this is what we're doing and show it off to everyone. But I just
once October hits,
JJ, I think it was JJ even said like, oh, we're gonna show a teaser. I'm like, no, we can't, because that would just give everything away. But yeah, I'm excited to see the project you've been working on, Adrian. But before I say too much about that, let's move on here. Today we are talking about the Nintendo Direct, the PlayStation State of Play, the huge G4 layoffs, and we're going to discuss what Kojima is hiding over in his offices there. I
don't think he's hiding anything, but
he has something locked up or something secret, something hidden deep within.
I think you're reading a little too much
foundations
into
of his office over there. He doesn't want the world to know. We will figure it out. We will figure it out here on this show. But first, let's give a quick shout out to our Patreon producers, Bumple Smash and Eddie Martin, and our Super Gamer sponsors, Julie Bates, Mama Mare, and KOJIMA01. Thank you so much to those folks and more who support us over at patreon.com/supergamerboys. Remember, you can support us over there for just $1 and get episodes early and ad-free like this show, as well as Super Gamer Book Club hosted by Adrian. Last month's episode that came out the beginning of this month, if that makes sense, was Amori with Ray from twitch.tv/RayToRat. That was a fantastic episode, a blast to record, an emotional roller coaster. Mostly a lot of downs, you know. Oh man, so much sadness. But which, by the way, I was gonna tag you in something. I noticed it wouldn't let me tag you on Instagram or whatever. But Amori announced Amori plushies. Like they have a whole line of all the characters, like little plushies, and I'm just like, oh man, like they're so cute. It's like all the little kid versions of them, like. It was pretty dope.
Yeah. No, I just kind of hit the pause button for a couple days on social media. There's deactivating stuff hits a lot different than just deleting the app.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah, but, I mean, it's pretty. It's like, oh, you can't just like sneak around. Like, I'm just gonna check real quick through the browser. You know, it's
right. Like, no, you have to log all the way back in. It's like,
Yeah.
So.
That's not a bad thing. I don't know if I've ever done that in my
It's just a couple days. It's just nice to
years of having social media. I've never like taken a break. I've literally had a social media. When did I get my Facebook? 2007.
Mm-hmm.
Like since 2007, I have not taken a break from social media. Maybe that'd be a good thing.
It was nice. It's like flipping the light switch, and then it's just dead silent. Like you know for a fact that nobody is talking for like 3 days, and then you can just flip the switch back on because you've just been in a vacuum of silence.
Just, it's so bright. Too much. Turn it back off. If you are on the fence about supporting us over at Patreon, you can check out Super Gamer Book Club episodes from a couple months ago. Crisis Core, Final Fantasy VII with Jeremy from Video Games, a Comedy Show. That episode is up right now for free at youtube.com/supergamerboys, as well as, like I said, do a search for Super Gamer Book Club on all your podcast apps. Listen to it over there. Fantastic show, fantastic episode, and support us. You can get them 2 months early. Get those up-to-date, most recent episodes. Laugh with us, cry with us, get angry with us when we talk about bad games. Like, what was that last or 2 months ago?
Oh,
Star Wars Republic
Commando.
And coming out, I guess next week. Me and Adrian just realized, we're like, shoot, it's the end of September. This month flew by. Coming out next week, apparently, 2064 read-only memories. I'm excited about that one. I have played a little bit of it. What I played is killer, so I'm excited to get more into it. See what's going on in this kind of like futuristic neo San Francisco city. It's pretty sick. We'll talk more about our Patreon later. Now I want to give one quick shout out to Jack Sriracha and Yate for allowing us to use their music on our show. We appreciate them so incredibly much. They're amazing. Go support them by listening to their music on Spotify, on Apple Music, and Bandcamp. You can find some of Yate's albums to purchase there. So yeah, go give it a listen. And now it is time to check the mail.
Wish I had a bit for you, dude. I've been working on this thing all day since I got home.
You know what? That's fine. The Amazon dropped off the mail earlier. They got me. They actually sent me this. I found this taped to my door with a little Amazon sticker that said, "This is for Super Gamer Boys." So I guess I just plug it in and hopefully it doesn't have a virus.
Or any concerning footage on it.
Right, and hopefully it's actually from Amazon. I mean, the sticker was handwritten. It was more like one of those "Hello, my name is" stickers, and just said Amazon. So yeah, let's see if there's any questions on here. Oh shoot. Oh, hang on. Oh,
what?
Okay.
What?
Well, I lost control of my computer now. All right.
Well,
oh, okay. There's a bar going across the screen and says downloading quote unquote listener questions. I don't know why it's in quotes like that. That seems weird. I don't. Oh.
These O's are concerning because some of these O's sound like good O's and some of them sound like,
yeah.
I should be concerned about this.
There's a very quick flash of photos, and let me tell you, there was some
was
interesting
JJ
things in there.
any of them? Because if it is, then he's behind all of this.
There was some of JJ, and that's what that kind of was. So JJ may not be here, but he strikes again. Apparently paid off the Amazon guy to drop off a virus. So thank you, JJ, for that, I guess. But there are actually listener questions in here amidst all the new Trojan viruses in my computer. Let's see if I can decode these. And okay. Here we go. I think this first question is from CJM. And they wrote, if you were on death row and you were given the choice between choosing your last ever meal or playing 2 hours of your favorite game before it all ended, which would you choose? And what would that meal or game be? Now, my first question to you, CJM, is, do they have the death penalty in Australia? Because I'm pretty sure, wasn't it? I think earlier on when he asked us a question, he had mentioned he was like in Australia, I think. And I don't know. That's just something like I know the U.S. does it, and a lot of people don't agree with it around the world. So I'm curious: is
not all of the U.S. does
the death penalty? Like, do they do it there?
I mean, good question. We got to look that up later.
I mean, not that it changes the fact of the question still
no,
stands, but it's more
the
just
concept
like,
still works.
It just made me interested because I'm like, I know it's one of those things that the U.S. does, and a lot of countries and a lot of people in general are just like not cool with it, and so I was like, oh, I don't know, is this a random thought popped in my head? Like, oh, I wonder if Australia is one of those countries that even do it anymore. If they do, like, how do they do it? I don't know. I'm a weirdo like that. But what do you think, Adrian? Would you rather have your favorite meal or 2 hours of your favorite video game?
So you're asking me to choose between my grandma's chicken, rice and gravy and biscuits or 2 hours of Animal Crossing? This is a tough one. I think I'm gonna have to go with the last meal.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, granted, I know both of those I'll never be able to experience again, but I feel like something about that meal and getting that connection with family is just, it's a nice way to go out. But I could also, it's like a 50-50 split. Like, I can definitely see how spending my last moments in a world that I care so much about before I, kick off, I could see that being excellent too. So it's tough. What about yourself?
I mean, I love food. And let me tell you, like, my final meal wouldn't be like just a meal. It would be everything. I'd be like, bring me, big old slice of New York pizza. I want tacos. I want this, that. Like, I just want it all. Give me some chicken tendies. Like, I want all the good stuff. And
they have to call it that too when they bring it to the table.
Yeah.
Your chicken tendies, sir.
But honestly, like, I'm going to be dying anyways. And like, that food's not going to do me any good when I'm dead, right? Like, they're just going to pump it out of me when they put me in the ground.
Right. But it's for your own sake. It's comforting.
But that's what I was just going to get at is I think I would pick 2 hours of Death Stranding, like the most chill game ever. Like, just doing a couple last few deliveries, like for a couple hours, just right before I pass away, just listening to the beautiful soundtrack, exploring the woods. Like I've been locked up in a prison for who knows how long on death row, and they're about to kill me, and I haven't seen the outside world in who knows how long. To be able to just be like see some gorgeous scenery for a couple hours and listen to some chill tunes, I might just do that just to help me like, you know what, let's relax before I'm gonna kick the bucket. I don't know. That's where my head goes. Like, yeah, food is great and all, but I don't know. I tend to connect more like through music, especially, and then like medium like that. And yeah, my thought is like, think about that. Like, who knows how long you've been on death row, locked in like a cell, to be able to see like just some nice, beautiful scenery. It would be like, oh man, this is
fair,
refreshing.
Fair.
So
I didn't think about that. You've changed my perspective.
Yogurt Archangel in the chat says Canada has a death penalty too. They call it euthanasia. Oh, jeez.
I mean, it is for people, I guess.
Yeah,
so he's not wrong.
And then he also says 2 hours of Animal Crossing is hardly enough to do anything, to be honest.
I'm not gonna start from the beginning, okay? I want like my save. Like bring a GameCube in here and have my save on it. Let me play it for a couple hours.
Can you bring me the GameCube from my parents' attic, please?
Yes. Bring me that GameCube, that memory card, and sit it right here. And then I don't know, my folks can take it back or they can donate it or whatever. I don't need it anymore.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah, basically spend the 2 hours like saying goodbye to all your Animal Crossing friends, and you know, man.
And then just, you know what I'm doing? I'm just right there fishing. Or
just fishing.
I'm listening to a KK concert depending on what day it is, you know? Just
maybe
see?
I wonder if you can request, but okay, when you
can I do it on Saturday?
Can we do it on a Saturday so we can
Can you do it on Saturday around 7 p.m. or so?
So while you're just taking me out of this world, I can just have a little TV across the room with some speakers going with the KK. Because don't they let you listen to music too while you're going? Like I feel like I
honestly don't ever want to find out. So there's no way for me to know that information.
You don't want to find out? Okay.
I don't need to know.
For some reason, I thought I heard somewhere where like they'll let you like put on like music or something like that sometimes. So like imagine just be like, hey, can I have the TV with this KK content? And they're just like, what?
Can you put on this specific KK song, please? That's the one I want to go out to. Thank you.
And they're just like,
that's the most poetic.
What? Like, who is this guy, and why? Like, he doesn't like. Why are we killing him? Oh man. Who is this like super nice, sweet dude who just loves like these wholesome characters? Like, is he really a criminal?
They want to kill this guy? Oh yeah, no, he stole $160 million. Oh, okay.
And ran over 3 families in the getaway car.
Right.
Okay, all right. All right, this next question is from Penguin90, and they ask, what is the worst boss in any video game that made you so mad you wanted to jump into the video game and beat up the boss yourself?
There have been a lot of bosses that I am just, that I never want to see again. Good grief. One of the more recent ones was the honeybee, or the honey, what do they call it? The queen bee in Cuphead. So when you fight her, normally like you're running side to side to fight a boss. Mm-hmm. But the way that you fight her is the fight is vertical. So you're jumping from platform to platform, and you have to aim downwards to shoot at her to give her damage. So you have to platform, and you have to aim down the entire time, which just throws your whole groove off. Dang. That was so tough the first few times I did it.
Jeez.
And that's probably one of the biggest ones. I mean, of course, you can always say Sephiroth in Kingdom Hearts. That one, that one definitely. How should I say? Almost cost a controller.
Oh no!
Yeah, that was a tough boss. Yeah, that's the two most like. When I think of hard bosses, like that's definitely up there. Like a lot of people like to be like, oh, Elden Ring, oh, Dark Souls, Bloodborne. No. play Kingdom Hearts on critical and fight Sephiroth, and then come back and talk to me, and then we'll see. Then you'll understand what a hard boss is.
Yeah, for me, well, that's funny because for me, like the most recent one would be Elden Ring. Like that's what it is for me, honestly. Like beating, well, Godfrey was so hard for me, but even harder and unnecessarily. Like I did it to myself. But when you first start the game and you walk out the doors and the freaking tree sentinel standing there, like he's not even like a boss. He's like just a little like.
He's a mini boss
kind of thing. But you're like level 1 or 2, you know, after like running around the caves for a little bit. And so you come across this guy and you're like, I can take him. And you immediately just will get one shot. And you're like, oh, okay, I can't take him.
Right.
But there's something wrong with my brain where I'm like, oh, I can take him. I'm just doing something wrong. I just need to like,
that's your fault.
I need to be better. Or like cheese it or something. And
Tree Sentinel is supposed to be the thing that tells you, okay, you need to run away and not come back for a long time.
Well,
and you said no, I'm gonna keep trying to beat this until it makes me quit the game. And the game was like, bro, we told you to leave.
No, that's the thing. I left for like a little bit and came right back and I kept trying over and over and over until I finally got him. But let me tell you, there was so many times I was about ready to just like, because again, like I said, there's a few times I tried to cheese it and it was working. My strategy was working. And then all of a sudden he would like glitch through a wall or something and kill me. I'm like, what? Like my cheese was working.
He cheesed your cheese.
But the game glitched, like, and he like comes through, like, it would get me, and it would piss me off so instantly. I think that's what's more infuriating. Like, less the boss and more just like my tactic was working, and then like almost like the game was like, nope, we're not gonna let you do that. Like, just kill me. So that's the most recent one, but I don't know. Like, I mean, I don't play games on hard generally. And like I usually play on at the very most medium and maybe even like just bump it down to easy because I like games for the story. I don't want to sit there and like beat my head against the wall with a boss. But the only other one that comes to mind that was, I'm trying to think, kind of tricky. Actually, I mean, you mentioned Sephiroth from Kingdom Hearts, but Sephiroth from Final Fantasy VII Remake. Not Sephiroth himself. Actually, that actually wasn't too bad. It was it's right before that. You haven't played it. But I don't know how it compares to the original. Right before that, you fight these other 3 beings. Like it's like Destiny or Fate or something like that.
Those were in the original remake. I played remake.
Oh, okay.
I haven't played Intergrade.
I didn't realize you played remake. I thought
no, Intergrade is the one I haven't played yet.
Okay, so just like with the DLC then.
Right.
Yeah, so though, yeah, I don't know, for whatever reason, like those 3 being, I don't remember what they are. I think it was like Fate, and it was like 3 different versions of Fate essentially that you have to fight, and they're like different elements that you have to like fight with, and there are different techniques, and holy cow, I played that so many times, and I was just playing on normal, and I finally was just like, screw it, and I bumped it down to easy because I was like, I wanted to beat the game on normal, and I played the whole game on normal, and I got to that point and it was like, I can't do it. Like I played over and over and over and over again. It was so close so many times. It's just, yeah, straight up just breaking a controller over my knee. But what's that?
I said, did you end up bumping it down?
Yeah, I ended up bumping it down, and I still like barely made it. And I was like, I don't know if I did something wrong. But I think later what ended up happening too is we talked about on the show, and I very much like kind of golden path Final Fantasy VII. Like I did some of the side quests at the beginning of the game, but as I got further in, I did less and less of them. And so, yeah, I didn't spend a lot of time.
So you didn't even get the good dress?
I think I only had like 1 or 2 summons, like just the couple that they give you at the beginning of the game. Like I barely used any summon, like all stuff like that. So I very much just played the game wrong, essentially, and got all the way to the end.
Is that what you're telling me? You didn't get the good dress for Aerith? When you took her out on the date?
I don't No, I think
you know how you have to do in Walmart, you have to do like side quests, and the more side quests you do, the more bombastic Eric's dress gets.
I think I did all the stuff there because I got all the upgraded. Yeah, I did the upgraded dress for Aerith and for what's her name too.
What's her name? He says. What's her name? He says. One of the most iconic characters in video games. And what's her name? Come on, man.
Dude, I've only played that game once in my entire life.
There are people who have never played Final Fantasy VII and they know that's Tifa.
I'm sorry. I had a bigger crush on Cloud than Tifa. That's all.
I mean, after that honeybee incident, I can't blame you. Getting catcalled all over Walmart after walking out of there.
Yogurt Archangel says the worst bosses are the ones when you fail, you have to sit through a long cutscene to try again. 100%.
Yes, the original Kingdom Hearts games before they did the remixes. Yes, you had to sit through the whole thing over again.
Oh, that sounds horrible. All right, this last question comes to us from Sir Prince-a-Lot, and he asks, what's your favorite Shrek sequel and why?
We talked about this before the show, and I said it's got to be 2. 2 is the best one out of all 4 of them, and that's saying a lot because 1 is great. 3 and 4 they're okay, but 2 excels on every level from 1. It's bigger, it's funnier, it's more charming. The CGI, of course, is better because it's a couple years removed from the first one. Yeah, all around better movie.
I've only seen the first one, so I can. So my opinion, none of the sequels are better because I've never seen a sequel. I've just seen the one. But yeah, Shrek is a funny thing. Like, so when that came out, I was not allowed to watch that.
Really, Shrek?
Because of the more it has a little more adult humor at times, even if it's kind of like hidden, quote unquote.
Like it's barely. Like it's like somebody took a couple shakes of spicy stuff and went like a pepper shaker, and that's it.
Right. Well, yeah, and I was mentioning it before. Like, growing up in a lot. I mean, I wasn't allowed to read Harry Potter. I wasn't allowed to do a lot of things because, yeah, a little more on the stricter side.
Because it's the devil.
In my earlier years. So, yeah, I didn't watch Shrek until
I was in college.
Few years. No, it was before then. It was a few years later though. And I remember enjoying it, but like it just didn't hit with me the same way because, you know, it was later after everyone else had kind of watched it and moved on. It was like a year or two later. It's like, oh, okay, it's whatever, Shrek.
I just imagine you in 2018. Hey guys, have you seen this movie Shrek?
Oh man, this movie is nuts, dude.
It's pretty awesome, man. I don't know. Have you guys seen it before?
Dude, this came out like 12 years ago. What are you talking about?
You mean the movie that came out in 2000? Yeah, we saw it.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
So yeah, I like the original because that's the only one I've seen. But I remember though. But even before I'd seen the movie, I had this. We were at like Walmart and they had this scratch and sniff Shrek book. So I had this book of it before I like watched the movie. Mm-hmm. And the worst part about it is I remember there was this page. It was all obviously scratch and sniff, and Shrek like doesn't sound very appealing. And you'd be right. It literally was just a book full of like horrible smells. And like to this day, I'm still like haunted once in a while. Like just not even thinking about the book now, I can still smell like the certain like the vomit smell and like stuff like that, and like in my head, like it's coming back to me. Like I feel like I can smell it right now in this room. It's crazy how much.
I'm just gonna have to believe you on that one.
Affected me as a kid. You have to what?
I'm just gonna have to take your word for it on that one.
Yeah. It was horrendous. So don't ever buy, if you ever see a Scratches of Shrek book, don't buy it, don't smell it, because it'll like just ruin the rest of your life. Anytime you. And
it'd also be 20 years old too, so probably you don't want to do that.
Oh man. Let's see. Yogurt Archangel in the chat says, it's been so long since I've seen anything other than Shrek. I like that. Alrighty. I think it's now time for the nerdy nudes.
It's now time for the nerdy nudes.
Sorry, I was just Googling Shrek scratch and sniff story.
Don't. What? Let's do this. The news. No, I'm not trying to watch you poison yourself.
It's only $4 on thriftbooks.com.
And all this, I guarantee if you buy that and it gets to your house, it's going to be nothing but faded out pictures with just all the paint scratched off them.
Oh, man. Remember Nickelodeon doing the smell-o-vision thing?
Yeah, absolutely. You kidding?
Dude, that was genius. Fantastic. I don't know why they never caught on. That was so good.
You don't know why it never caught on.
Yeah, why not?
And you said that with a
give me one good reason, one bad reason for it. Like why would it? Like it was only pros.
Smell-o-vision, Garrett.
Yeah.
The concept of smell-o-vision. You gonna tell me you want to smell a burning car in an action movie? You want to smell when those one thrillers when they go in the sewers and you're like wading through all that sewage water to try to get away from the killer. That's what you want to smell?
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is just sewage and pizza.
Mixed together. Doesn't that sound appetizing? I think you just answered your own question.
It's immersive though. Extremely immersive.
I don't want to be throwing up as a part of immersion, all right?
All right. To each their own, I guess.
Yes. No. To nobody this own.
All right, this first story comes to us from GameSpot, and well, it's not this first thing isn't really a story. We're going to be using the story from GameSpot by Gabe Gerwin, but really we're just giving our thoughts on the Nintendo Direct. So Gabe Gerwin over here kind of collected some of the big announcements, and so I'm just going to read them off real quick, and then I'm going to say, Adrian, what are your thoughts?
Hit me.
And so we have Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. We finally got the name for the Legend of Zelda sequel. We have a new Fire Emblem game announced, Fire Emblem Engage. Octopath Traveler 2 announced, just a couple of years after the first one here.
About 3.
3 years. N64, we're getting a bunch of the Mario Party
We're getting the
games.
Mario parties, baby!
Yeah, Mario Parties, Pilot Wings, Pokemon Stadium games, and the big one was GoldenEye coming soon. Pikmin 4.
GoldenEye was... Okay, we'll go.
I just wanted to read the headlines and then we can discuss. Bayonetta 3, Pikmin 4, Kirby's Return to Dreamland Deluxe, Crisis Core Final Fantasy VII Reunion, and Tunic, amongst a couple other smaller things. Those are kind of the big things. So now, Adrian, what are your thoughts on these announcements? Anything that stood out to you?
Are you kidding?
You're stoked about?
Tunic. Can't wait to play that on OLED. I think that's going to look fantastic.
Heck yeah. My only worry is it just
performance.
To me, it doesn't seem like it'd be a very performance heavy game, like a hardware heavy game. But watching that trailer, I was like, it doesn't look.
It's definitely
same.
30.
It's
definitely
something
30.
weird with it, and I don't know how I feel about that because it's gorgeous on PC and on console. So yeah, I don't know.
Of course, the big one, I know you were like, oh, GoldenEye's here. Yeah, that's nice. But not only are they putting Mario Party, they're putting Mario Party 2 and Mario Party 3. Do you understand what that means? Being able to break out a Mario Party at any time? Granted, you could do it with Superstars, but they just don't hit like the originals do, man.
Yeah.
Oh, just telling somebody, yo, ready for some Hexagon heat? We can bust it out right now since you're talking that trash. Any and everywhere.
That's awesome.
Forget about it. I almost called it Breath of the Wild 2. It's not Breath of the Wild 2. It's Tears of the Kingdom. Mm-hmm. Or what do they call it before? The sequel to Breath of the Wild?
Yeah, the sequel to Breath of the Wild.
It's its own thing now. I don't want to know anything else about this game.
Yeah.
And I mean that in the best possible way, because I feel like they're trying to be coy with this. And they're trying to withhold information. And I think that was a really big motivator for Breath of the Wild for me, is the want to explore the world was also trying to figure out exactly what happened. Like, they told you Hyrule was destroyed, but you don't know in what way, what people are still around, what artifacts are still there. So you have to go looking. And I think it's the same way with this. Somehow the entire kingdom is involved in whatever this plot they have going on with this, what we all assume is Ganon being held as a husk. And that's really all I need to know about it until I play it. And somehow your arm gets cut off. I wish I could have experienced that in game for the first time. That would have been gnarly.
Imagine that reveal. That would have been crazy. I feel the same way. I saw a lot of people upset overall with the direct, and especially like I saw some stuff being pointed towards like Legend of Zelda, like, what, another teaser? That's barely a teaser. Like, that's like just as much as we got before, blah blah blah. But it's like, I'm right there with you. Like, I don't want more. Like, this game, I'm already in. I enjoyed the first one, and like, I feel like if they show too much, then there's like, what more is there to be surprised about? Granted, like, even with the like, we know from the first one, the world is massive, so of course there's going to be things to surprise us. But I don't know. I don't know if like what it is. I mean, I'm like just maturing in a way where like I am more and more wanting to, excuse me, go into things with less. Like, I've been watching less movie trailers, less game trailers, just like less in general. Like, I feel like the more that I can be like surprised and excited by, like when I play the game, like the better. And so that's how I feel with this Zelda game. Like, don't give us more. That's great. Fantastic. Yeah. Like, get the little teasers. Great. I feel like you already showed too much. Like,
just call me in May. I'll be there. You know, for a fact, they're going to do a special edition console for this.
Oh, man.
Could you imagine what it's gonna look like?
It's gonna be pretty.
Bayonetta 3, of course, that's 1 month away. Stoked for that. Love the first one. Second one's even better. Miyamoto came out and probably gave us one of the biggest, just like roller coasters of emotions that I think I've ever had at a direct. Like, he came out and he's like, hey, it's me, Miyamoto. Guess what? We're still working on the Mario movie. Now let's talk about Pikmin. It's like, wait, no.
And well,
you don't have anything to tell us?
Up the theme park too, didn't he? He talked about the theme park for like 2
Nintendo
seconds.
World. Yeah, Nintendo World is opening next year.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden he switched gears and was like, hey, let's talk about Pikmin. But not the Pikmin you want to talk about yet. Let's talk about the phone game. It's like, dude, you keep like monkey's pawing this. Like, oh, you want Pikmin? Okay, here's the Pikmin phone game. And then finally, we got the announcement for Pikmin 4. We have a hard release year. Miyamoto's been talking about it for like a century. That, oh, it's coming. Oh, it's coming. I guess finally somebody walked in his office one day and was like, dude, where is that game at? And he's like, all right, God.
Chill out. It's right over here on the shelf. I've been playing it. I've been too busy playing it. I didn't release it.
It's been done for like 2 years. I just been playing it. I guess you could put it out if you want. I forgot about it. I was working on the Mario movie.
So Pikmin's one of those things where I have zero experience with. I had a GameCube and just missed out on Pikmin, and then the sequels were on Wii and Wii U, correct?
1 and 2 were on GameCube, and then
they both
3
were.
Was on.
I didn't realize they both 1 and 2 were. I thought just 1 was on GameCube.
Yeah,
they both. Okay.
3 was on Wii U, and then 4 is going to be on Switch.
Yeah. Okay. So, like, is this a game like where I really need to play the originals? Like, is there an overarching story or?
No. I mean, all the improvements from past games are going to be in 4. So, if anything, I would say if you're interested, probably play 3. They're all really good. But it's going to be tough if you start with 3 to go back to 1 because of how much stuff that they changed from 1 to 3. But if you're interested, I probably wouldn't tell you to go unless you really want to start from the beginning. I would probably tell the average person to just go to 3 because it's the most easily accessible and it's the most upgraded with like modern game design versus 2001, 2002 development ideas.
Okay. Yeah, because I think I told you guys a few weeks ago, I finally got my Wii all set up. So I have a bunch of Wii games and a bunch of GameCube games on there. And I have...
Because you bought them all.
Exactly. I have the first couple Pikmin on there.
I mean, if you already have them, that's like the biggest barrier to experiencing them is finding them. Thankfully, I still have mine, but like Pikmin 1 and Pikmin 2 on discs are like $60 and $80 respectively.
Yeah.
So that's like a huge barrier to entry.
And then Pikmin 3, they released a deluxe version for Switch, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's actually just sitting right there if you wanted that.
Okay. Yeah. So I don't know. I just need to think about it. How committed I want to be to sitting in my garage and playing Pikmin.
It's
1
addictive.
And 2. So I guess I just never understood the gameplay of it. Like I've only watched trailers. I've never actually watched gameplay. I've just watched like a couple trailers in my lifetime. And so like to me, like I didn't understand what I was looking at. Like, I don't like what is the gameplay of it? Like I never even understood. I mean, you don't have to answer that right now, but like that's always been my question is like I don't get it. Like what's the draw? Like what's going on here? Like I don't know.
It makes sense when you play it. I would say if you have access to the first one, play the first one. Because then you'll be able to move up to 3 to eventually 4.
Okay.
So,
all right.
I mean, so going back to the overall direct, it was pretty disappointing because all the stuff that you mentioned when you read off that list was like maybe a quarter of the actual announcements at the direct. Like the rest of it was just either shovelware or the next. Farming JRPG simulator number 486B.
Now, everyone was making jokes about all the farming simulators, but there was only like 2 that got announced.
There was, with games with farming elements, there was like 5 or 6.
Oh, I don't think it was that bad.
Go back and watch it again, dude. I'm telling you. Yes.
Like everyone kept talking about it, like all the farming simulators, and I was like, "There's like only like 2 in there," and even then, like the one was barely
straight up farming simulators, maybe, but like there was a ton of games that had a farming option in it, and it's like, come on now, we already got the 2 big ones. We got Stardew, we got Animal Crossing. Leave it alone. Oh, and we got Story of Seasons. There, we're done. We don't need any more.
No, you do need more. You need all of them, all the farms.
I think that's most of the big stuff, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, It Takes Two coming to Switch, Tunic, Fatal Frame, Mask of Lunar Eclipse being released
Fire Emblem
in the US for the first time. Yeah, Fire Emblem, Splatoon 3 is getting a
first Splatfest,
which that's this weekend, isn't it?
Yep, and you'll be gone, sucker.
I mean, I'm taking my Switch. I don't know when I'm gonna have time to play. I'm gonna be so freaking busy working, but
too bad.
Dang it. I'm going to miss my first Splatfest. Oh, man.
Don't worry. There's going to be a lot more.
What team are you now? Because it is... Okay, so it's...
Team Gear.
You're getting sent to a desert island. Do you take gear, food, or games? Is that the 3 options?
Yep.
So you're gear?
Yeah. I mean, you have the gear. You can make tools to... I mean, if you have the gear, you can make your own tent, your shelter. You can make your own games and toys to have fun with, and you can make tools to help harvest food. Right, why wouldn't you take gear?
You can use the gear to make, to hunt
the other 2 things.
Food, like whether it's fishing pole, spear, like whatever you're doing. So yeah, I'm right there with you. I was geared too. I was just curious.
Yeah, anybody who takes the other 2 is a bum.
Yeah, they're just gonna eat and play games all day until they die.
Until they die.
Run out of food, run out of food and die, or just die from starvation. So yeah, 100%. Did they ever show like the percentage of people who play on each team? Is that a stat they show?
At the end of the Splatfest, they show the percentages of how many players voted for each one, how many games they won, pretty much a full breakdown of all the stats.
Okay.
At the end of it.
That's awesome. That's a lot of fun. I'll have to check it out. Yeah, you mentioned Fire Emblem real quick too. Like that game looks pretty cool. It looks like you
still got 3 houses to play, my good man.
What's that?
I said you still have 3 houses to play, my good man, before you even look at this.
By the way, when are we thinking of doing that book club? Because I still have not even bought the game, and I know we would
putting
say
it off
if we because it's long. But
I would maybe April.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure you weren't like expecting it to be like our December book club or something.
No, absolutely not.
But this one, from what it looked like in the trailer, they are like it's new characters, new story, but like they have like almost like summons or something of like the old characters.
It's kind of like Fire Emblem All-Stars almost.
Yeah.
Like your summons, I could be wrong, but it seems like your summons are heroes from past Fire Emblem games.
Right.
Like it's kind of like it's a celebration of Fire Emblem. Yay, you know?
Yeah, I mean, it looked cool. I mean, I think
don't get me wrong. Yeah, it looks awesome.
All the Fire Emblem games always look cool to me, but yeah, I'm curious. Like as a fan, like is this one that you're like, oh yeah, I need to pick this up? You're like, yeah,
absolutely
fine.
It's the next big one. Like it's the next mainline game. I'm gonna play it.
Yeah,
been playing them since GBA. Got to keep going.
Sweet. Yeah. For me, so overall picture of the direct, it was fine. Like honestly, other than Zelda, I couldn't care less about anything else. And I mean, it was cool to see more Crisis Core Final Fantasy VII, but for me, I'm not going to play that on Switch. Like
absolutely not.
That's something I'm going to play on PlayStation 5 for sure. So yeah, other than like those two things, I was like,
they'd have to give me a code to play. They'd have to give me a code to play Crisis Core on Switch. Yes.
They have to like force you like, well, this was given to me for free. It saves me $70.
Then I'll play it.
So
because there's no way.
Oh man. And Octopath Traveler 2.
Oh, that's
cool,
right.
I think I was talking with Eddie Martin in the Discord, and I was like, yeah, that game looks dope, but I never even got like through the first one. Like the first one was awesome, but again, it's just such a big game. I don't have time for big games. Like it's gorgeous, like art style, all this stuff. And
it looks so good on OLED, dude. Octopath looks so incredible.
Yeah, I'll just add that to my pile. I gotta beat Fire Emblem first. I gotta be
good luck.
I gotta finish Breath of the Wild. I still not fit. I got all the way to the final divine.
What?
I got to the final divine beast and got like right almost to the boss fight, the final divine beast. And it was so basically like I was gonna do that, and then you head to Ganon basically, and I never finished it. I stopped because I'm a madman.
Why do I feel like you told me that before and I just repressed it? Because I'm like, no way.
I have told, like everyone is very aware that I did not finish Breath of the Wild.
I was like, maybe he was just joking.
It drives me crazy. But the thing is, I have tried multiple times to finish it, and every time I jump back in, I just jump back into exploration mode, and I'm like, ooh, shiny. And I'm like, no,
that's the best part of the game.
So hard.
But Octopath 2, they are intertwining the stories of the characters in this one. So it's not just like 8 little vignettes. It's everybody's character is going to meet up with another character in the game at some point. And then they're probably going to all crescendo with all 8 of them meeting up together and fighting whatever final boss. So that's kind of the biggest complaint that people have from the original Octopath, which I agree with, is these characters never meet up with each other, and if they do, they don't really talk. Like they just happen to be in the same area.
Right.
So they are fixing that. That's
cool. And then it also, like, they're adding like a day-night cycle, and like the actions that each character can do are different, whether it's day or night. That seems kind of pretty cool. So like really it's like unlimited story potential. Like you could do multiple playthroughs and get like different things, which is neat.
Yeah, it's pretty rad.
That's coming in February 2023. Ooh-wee. All right. Well, that's it for Nintendo Direct. I think overall we're just kind of like, there's cool things, but like nothing that made it great, right? It was kind of like fine.
For as long as it was hyped up, from the internet, I doubt it met any expectations.
Yeah.
Especially for a September direct. Like, this is supposed to be the big blowout before the next fiscal year. So it fell short, especially for that.
Although, of course, there's all the rumors floating around. Well, there was rumors before floating around that like there's supposed to all be a bunch of stuff announced at it that didn't get announced. And
the
now,
Metroid collection, the Zelda collection,
exactly,
neither of them anywhere to be found.
So as soon as this ended, within the next couple days, those people were back on the internet saying, "Oh no, there's going to be another direct next week." So there's rumors that there might be like a mini direct this week with those things. That just doesn't make any sense. Why do a big one and then a mini one the week later? So I've seen it from a couple people being like, "Oh, like within the next week or so, like there's going to be."
They're just hoping that people forget that they were wrong about the other one.
Yeah, I don't.
We need to start writing these people's names down of people who make predictions on direct, so that when we're wrong, we can double back on the list and know to never trust them again.
Well, like, okay, there's some people who
public enemy number one, Jeff Grubb.
That's what I was just gonna say. I was like, he's the guy he's like the main guy who keeps shouting this stuff from the rooftops, and like sometimes he's right, but
I
like,
swear, guys, it's coming. I swear, any day now.
A lot of times he's not, and like people just keep listening to him, and I'm like, sure, he's a great guy, but like he just keeps
he's rad.
He just keeps spewing random stuff out there. It's like, all right, let's chill out, dude. Like,
I think people are telling him the wrong stuff on purpose just because they want to see him like flounder about it. I don't know.
But the thing is, he does it. Like, he just like takes it in stride and just keeps going. Like, I don't know how he does it. Like, if it was me, I'd be like, all right, I'm hanging up my hat, guys. But he just keeps going. He's like, I wasn't wrong. It's just they changed it. Now it's this. And it's like,
yeah,
what?
That's it.
Oh man, he's quick. I don't know how he thinks so quickly on his feet and like where he's getting this information, but boy, yeah, that's it's funny. I didn't want to like call him out, but then when you said, I'm like, yeah, no, that's exactly what I was thinking. I'm like, oh man, yeah, I don't know. My when I think of like, I don't know. My big thing is like, why spoil things for people? Like that's half the fun and excitement is like not knowing. Like, I don't know. It just seems like a weird thing to just be like, oh, I got secret information and it's this. Like,
right.
I don't
know.
If
you're not going to give out what it is, just don't even bother saying that you have it.
Yeah. All right, let's move on to this next story, which is kind of discussing our thoughts on PlayStation State of Play, which happened the same day as a Nintendo Direct.
The God of War Direct.
Yeah, and that's kind of basically what it comes down to. There's a few things announced, so I'm going to run through them quick like I did before with Nintendo. So Tekken 8 was officially revealed. God of War Ragnarok got a new trailer and a limited edition DualSense controller, which let me tell you, that thing looks pretty nice.
How many did you already pre-order?
What's that?
I said, how many did you already pre-order?
Pre-orders, I don't think it goes up for pre-order until, I think they come out like the day the game does. I don't know. I haven't seen anything about a pre-order yet. So I will be trying to get one though, for sure.
Of course you will.
Star Wars Tales from the Galaxy Edge gets a new gameplay trailer, which is a PSVR 2 game. Yakuza,
which is a port of an Oculus game,
getting a Western release. Hogwarts Legacy getting a special quest on PlayStation. Pacific Drive is the first title from Ironwood Studios announced. PlayStation Stars loyalty program to start rolling out this month, which is just, I don't even understand what the heck that is. Yeah, there wasn't much. There's a couple more things here, but there was nothing at this State of Play. It was literally just a cool new God of War trailer, and that was it.
I'm fine with that.
Did you watch this at all, like the State of Play or any trailers from it?
I watched the God of War trailer, and I watched the I almost slipped and said Yakuza again. I watched the new Like a Dragon trailer.
Yeah, it's not. It's called Like a Dragon. It's a new spin-off series, and this one is called Like a Dragon Ishin. And it's a remake apparently.
Well, it's not. It was already out. They just localized it for the West.
Okay, because I just noticed the subtitle here says Like a Dragon
it's remastered
Ishin remake. So interesting.
The God of War trailer looks excellent. I mean,
God of War
who
looks
expected
incredible.
less?
Yeah, God of War looks incredible. I mean, but we're already stoked for that game. And that's one of those games where it's like, I don't want to know more. Like, just give me the game. I'm just ready for the game. I don't want anything to be spoiled for me. I want to like even watching the trailer, I was like, oh man, this world they're in looks incredible. I wish I didn't even know about it. Imagine like playing the game and being like, what the heck? Like I'm in this like location. Like it looked wild from that trailer. So I think I'm just going to stop with watching God of War stuff until that game comes out. I'm so excited. But yeah, I don't know. This state of play, like, did it have to happen? Like, I don't know. There was like nothing at it. It could have just been.
They could have
like,
just dropped those trailers. Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, here's a blog post about Tekken and about God of War, and then, you know, I don't know. Yeah, these all could have just been blog posts, I feel like. Like the Neo developer announces a new open world samurai game, Rise of Ronin. Like that sounds cool, but I'll be honest, I didn't watch the whole trailer of that one. But I don't know, open world games in general nowadays kind of turn me off because
didn't we recently
I just don't have time for open world games. But
didn't we recently get news about the Katana Zero sequel coming out, or like it's in development now? Because if that's the case, why is anybody else making samurai games right now?
I think, yeah, I don't know. Katana Zero, I just Googled it real quick. It says there's DLC in the works.
That might be what I'm thinking about.
But that was as of March of 2021. And there hasn't been any updates since.
But I mean, we got room for 3. All right, I'll give you that. We got Ghost of Tsushima, we got Like a Dragon, and we got Katana Zero. Everybody else to the back.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. Actually, I'm wrong. I said there was no new update for Katana Zero, but as of September 2nd, there's a sneak preview of the upcoming DLC on YouTube. So
right.
So there has been an update. No date, of course, but yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's probably still ways out.
Do we need any more samurai games? Like we already got the best of the best. Like
we're
everyone
good.
Else, just
Thank
take
you.
a break, go home, think over your life, come up with a new idea. But yeah, I don't know. This state of play, I feel like, was a big fart. Like there was nothing worthwhile at it. I mean, yeah, even the God of War thing is like, that could have just been dropped in a blog post or this released on YouTube or whatever. Like just a Twitter post. Like, hey, new trailer and controller dropping. Boom. Like,
yep.
And everyone would have been just as hyped over it. So
and call it a day.
Yeah. No need to waste 20 minutes showing off a bunch of like random stuff that people could have just, you know, watched on their own. If you were announcing a new game, maybe, which I guess they did. They announced Pacific Drive by Ironwood Studios, but it's like everyone's like, oh, this game looks cool. Who's Ironwood Studios? And you'd be right to ask that because this is their first game they've ever made. Like, it's not like they have a history. So it's not like in the next game from Sucker Punch or something like that. It's just like in the next game or the first game from Ironwood Studios. And everyone's like, who? What? So I don't know. PlayStation still has not really found their niche with the state of play, as I feel like. I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm with you there. I don't know what they're doing with these because it feels like they're all centered around one big game, the state of play. And I think really you need like multiple hard hitters to warrant the need for a state of play, or do a single title state of play and do an extended look at it like how they did before. But these, I mean, it's both of these I almost said directs. Both of these showcases had the same problem. There wasn't enough like boom, boom, megaton stuff. I feel like if you're going out of your way to make a full video presentation, you should have like nothing but bangers, because if you told me that it was going to be little game, little game, little game, little game, little game, big game, little game, little game, little game, little game, you could have just put all that on PlayStation blog or on, Nintendo Twitter. So
yeah, when more than like 90% of the announcements are just little games I don't care about, then
don't get me wrong, I love little games, but when I see that you're gonna put on a showcase, I'm thinking you're pulling out all the stops, red carpet, let's do this. Right. This is premiere Sony. This is premiere Nintendo.
Right. And unfortunately too, like the little games they usually show on, say, a Nintendo Direct, or I mean, especially a PlayStation, I should speak more to the PlayStation State of Play. Usually the little games they pick like they're not like cool like little indie games. It's like the weird like random
Disney Speedway.
Yeah, just random stuff that are just like, now what? Like, I mean, not to say like they're small developers, like Bandai Namco showed off Sin Duality, like they're a huge developer, but it's like, this is a new IP that like no one cares about at the moment. Like who, what is this? Like, I don't know. So like, cause they just pick like random stuff like that, or even showing off like, what was this? Like a couple of the PSVR 2, one of them was like Demio. It's like just some random PSVR 2 game coming out. It's like a D&D game where you actually roll dice and stuff. It's like, all right, like I don't know. I guess we shouldn't necessarily say small games because Tekken's not a small franchise, but
no, it's not. But that's one of the ones that I'm talking about as a tentpole title. Like,
but yeah, but even then, like I think the problem with the state of plays is not necessarily smaller games, but PlayStation just has. I feel like PlayStation doesn't really have as wide of a range of IP as like Nintendo does. Like IP, I feel like in general, like more people play more of the IPs of Nintendo than they do of PlayStation. Like PlayStation has very niche IPs. Mm-hmm. So like for me, it's like I love God of War, but any of these other games, I would never touch with a 100-foot pole because I could not care less about them. Where like with a Nintendo Direct, I could be like, oh, I could play that. Oh, I could play that. Oh, that looks cool. Like, even if I don't necessarily care about it up front. So I think that's more the issue with the state of play. Not that it's smaller games, it's just smaller audiences to each game. Segmented audience to each.
There you go.
Again, I don't want to use the word small because they're still very big.
I know what you meant.
But like, I don't care about fighting games. I don't care about...
Which you should, because Street Fighter 6 looks phenomenal.
Yeah, it looks fine. It's whatever.
Okay.
I don't care about like the Like a Dragon series or Hogwarts. Like my buddy Derek's gonna kill me. I don't care about Hogwarts Legacy. It looks beautiful, and I'm sure I might try it out when it comes out. But I don't really care about Harry Potter. So yeah, it's just stuff like that where PlayStation really needs to like design their state of plays more around like a genre or a niche.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't. They just throw a bunch of random spaghetti against a wall and hope they kind of make something. But yeah. All right. Boy, we are getting deep into this show. We are over an hour in and still in the news here. So let's just hit this last kind of big story here. G4 TV reportedly lays off up to 30 staff less than a year after relaunch. This comes from James Batchelor over at gamesindustry.biz. Game-centric TV and streaming broadcaster G4 TV has reportedly laid off between 20 and 30 members of staff this week. That's according to Kotaku, citing 3 sources familiar with the matter who say the redundancies came by surprise. Some staff had even showed up on set to begin filming before being told their programming had been canceled. Affected staff are said to have been given between 16 weeks and 6 months severance pay based on how long they've worked for G4 TV, parent company Comcast. G4 TV was originally launched in 2002, but shut down in 2014 as consumers and the industry shifted more towards online video content. It was relaunched in November 2021 with a mix of Twitch channels and cable TV programming. The impact of this week's layoffs, which come less than a year after the network's revival, is unclear, although one source told Kotaku they cannot imagine the company continuing to produce our slate of content without the people we lost today. Sources also tell the site that G4 TV has been struggling financially, with managers told to find ways to cut cost. Earlier this year, G4 president Russell Aarons left the company and was replaced by Joe March, CEO of Comcast Spectator. And then I guess this last week, you know, it kind of mentions at the end of this article, but also this last week, like Fanbyte, another news, so like a news site, video game news site, had a bunch of layoffs. So big layoffs in the industry. I mean, G4 got hit hard, which is so sad because they're just back less than a year old, basically, from the relaunch, and like they're getting hit already. Like, who knows how long they're going to be around. Fanbyte just got hit hard. Imran Khan, a big name. He's worked at a bunch of different places, Game Informer and freelance different places, and been editor. I think he was like a features editor, news editor at Fanbyte. And while he's overseas in Japan, covering Tokyo Game Show, he's asleep in bed. Meanwhile, an email gets sent to him, hey, you've been fired. He wakes up in the morning to that. Like, imagine that, just like, getting ready to head down to the show floor and like, let's work on the next news article. Let me check my emails real quick though. Oh, what? All right, I don't have a job. Okay.
Not only that, but I'm like a few thousand miles away from home.
I'm on the other side of the world right now. Crazy. So, man, we feel so bad for those folks who are affected by that. So sorry you have to go through that, and for some people multiple times. That's the other thing with Imran. Like, that's the second time he was at Game Informer when they had the layoffs, then at Fanbyte with the layoffs, and I'm sure that happens to so many people, both at G4 and at Fanbyte here, just losing their job over just the huge fluctuating economy of video games media.
It's unstable.
So our hearts go out to all those people. Hopefully y'all's land on your feet. I know there's like some really cool networks online, and even just on Twitter, there are really cool hashtags you can follow, like people like, hey, if you're looking for a job, come over here. So that's the cool thing about the video games industry, is in general, it's extremely supportive when things like this happen. Like, immediately you see people on there like, hey, we're hiring. Hey, okay, you want to come work over here? Like, they're very quick to scoop people up. Not to say it's any more stable, but at least, you know, you can kind of turn
everybody there is like, hey, we all know this sucks. We all know you can get fired at any instant, so we'll help you.
Yeah,
you know,
at least as long as we can.
Right.
But so sad. So with that kind of all going on, how long do you think G4 has?
I'd say maybe the end of next year.
You think they you think they could get another year out of it, like next fall? I don't even know that. Like,
have they started resuming content yet?
Yeah, the very next day. So Wednesdays the layoffs happen, and Thursday they're right back to doing content. But again, like the article is saying, like, how long is that sustainable with like a skeleton crew? Like, they're just going to be running those people ragged, basically.
Yeah, but let me tell you why it's going to make it to the end of next year. Because G4 TV is going to become a streaming service where you can exclusively watch all episodes of Cheaters and Cops. That's why. Oh, and Ninja Warrior.
That would be amazing. They just like a monthly subscription streaming service where you can watch all of our stuff live and all of our past shows from 2002.
Remember when we only showed Ninja Warrior, Cheaters, and Cops? Nostalgia, baby. That's what they can market it as. See?
Man.
See?
Because that's what we all want. It's just Cops. Honestly, that show is addicting to watch. I would turn that on and just for hours.
See,
like,
you're part of the problem.
What's that you cut out?
I said, you're part of the problem.
I'm sorry. It's just like, you guys can't stop watching. It's so crazy, the stuff they run into.
It's definitely unfortunate that G4 is in the predicament it's in. It was fun to relive that hype for a while, I guess, of like having G4 back.
But be honest, have you watched anything since they came back?
No.
Yeah. Exactly.
That's the problem, is there are too many other outlets that are doing this same thing that have filled that void that G4 left when they decided they didn't want to do that original venture. Yeah. So for them to come back, they don't have that same level of like dominance. Like, they have the respect because of all the people they remember G4 and they know G4, and for a lot of people, me included, that was like my main gateway to find out about game stuff outside of like EGM or anything like that, you know, magazines.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I think maybe once or twice because I do follow them on Twitch, so I get the notifications when they go live each and every day. And so there's been a couple times I've clicked on, like maybe twice, like 2 times total in the last almost year they've been around. Yeah. And I watch for like 10 minutes, 15 minutes. And honestly, like for me, it comes down to the content even just doesn't feel it's not the same. It's not the same at all. And like for me, it just doesn't. It's just never. Not to say it's bad. Like obviously, it's like some people are watching it. Like I'm not going to say they're putting out bad content because I mean, there's a lot of incredible people on there. But for me, it didn't have anything that like hooked me. Like I'd watch it, I'm just not like, I don't know, the way it was portrayed. Like just it wasn't my cup of tea. Like obviously they're going for a different audience with it, like with the humor and the way they present things, even if they're just doing like a game review. I was like, even the way they just present a game review, like it's like I don't really want to listen to this. Like I don't know. And again, not that that's bad, it is with my preference. So yeah, it just makes me sad because back in the day, like you're right, that was like the place. Like I would get my Game Informer in the mail or my Game Pro. And then watched G4, and so,
dude, remember when like E3 would happen when like G4 was at the height of its power, and they would have like all day coverage of just E3 and like conferences and all that different stuff.
So good,
man, those were the days, dude.
So good. So yeah, I would be surprised if it even lasted past like spring or summer of next year. Like I think we have much less than a year. Based
I mean,
off
the top brass,
reading, but
yeah, the top brass all leaving like within a little bit of each other kind of is a really big signifier too. Like I know Blair Herter was there for a while. He was like really heading the effort to bring it back. He was one of the G4 faces back then. Adam barely started coming around anymore. He was like doing it via Zoom or video calls at that point. He wasn't in the studio anymore, so he was really phoning it in. So you could just tell like the signs were there that something was getting ready to come out from under everybody.
Yeah, that's something that I actually. So did Adam Sessler leave, or is he just? Because yeah, I noticed that. I watched a couple shows where he's like just Zoom, like it's like on a Zoom call, and he's like not even there.
I think he like.
It's like did he get fired or something? Like
I think he just fell way back. Like I don't know. Like he's basically a support role in this at this point. But
right,
I remember there was a point where he was like in the studio all the time doing stuff.
Yeah, for like the two times I watched. Yeah, towards the beginning I watched one and he was there, and then like a month or two ago I watched and like he's like calling in from a Discord call or something. I'm like, what? Yeah. Like, what's going on? That seems weird, but yeah, I don't know.
Well, it was fun while it lasted.
Yeah, fun while it lasted. And again, all you who've lost your jobs, so sorry that happened. And yeah, really hope you can find somewhere else to
bounce
go.
Back.
There's plenty of stuff out there. Just hopefully you can find your way to it. All right, we do technically have one more news story, but all I'm going to say about it is Kojima, what are you hiding?
Tell us.
Basically at Tokyo Game Show, they put up these posters that said, "Who am I?" And it was a black silhouette, like a black background and a blacked out face. And all you could see is the silhouette, like it's backlit. All you see is a silhouette, the edge of the face, like a hairline. You could tell it's like a female face. You can see the ears. Can't see any facial features though. And people are thinking it's Ellie Fanning. Who knows who it is, but I like to think it's Ellie Fanning, and it's for Death Stranding 2. And based off the little logo that's on there, which is a little bridge, a drawbridge, which some people have connected to the London Bridge. I like to think it's the Bridges Corporation, but instead of in America, it's in London. We're going to London, baby.
So instead of Sand Bridges, it's London Bridges.
London Bridges. Oh, man, that'd be awesome. Imagine Ellie Fanning's character.
Will you relax? You're getting ready to like froth at the mouth.
Oh, man. You're getting me all excited over here, Adrian.
Pikmin? Nah, doesn't do anything for me. Death Stranding 2 being in London? Whoo, baby.
Oh,
getting ready to fall out of my chair.
And if it's anything like Death Stranding, so Death Stranding took place in America and looked like, parts of the UK. So being in London, I imagine it's going to look just like America. That's how it works, right? They just swapped.
It's an asset flip. Yeah,
they swapped topography basically. Like UK becomes like America, and America became like what is it? It's supposed to be like Iceland or something like that.
Yeah.
Oh man. All right, that's all. Kojima's hiding something. He better.
We'll find out about it sooner or later.
Talk about it soon. All right, it is now time for our Patreon ad. This is the part of the show where I tell you to go to patreon.com/supergamerboys and support us for just $1 a month, where you can get episodes early and ad-free, such as this show, such as Super Gamer Book Club. $5 a month, you can get our show notes early. You can get special announcements. And like I said, show notes where you can see what we're going to be talking about on the shows Monday nights when we record it. You can leave your own questions, comments, concerns, thoughts on the news that we're talking about, the questions that we're answering. Basically, if you want us to read out what your thoughts are on a certain topic, support us at $5 a month. Leave your notes on those questions or on the show notes, and we will read them on air. Or you could just join us at twitch.tv/the Super Gamer Boys as well when we record Monday nights. Hang out in the chat. But supporting us over at Patreon, you also can get shout outs in the show. You can be a Patreon producer and give us pitch us ideas for cool new segments or cool new shows to try out, and it's all very, very much appreciated. Remember, you can subscribe over on Twitch if you're here watching live right now, or maybe you're listening on podcast or YouTube later. Head over to twitch.tv/the Super Gamer Boys, and if you link your Amazon Prime account with your Twitch account, you can use your Prime Gaming subscription that you get each and every month for free. You can give it to us, and we get $5. Doesn't cost you anything. Helps the show out. So please think about sending your free Prime Gaming sub our way. We'd very much appreciate it. And one last way to support us, you can go over to w.gg and support us by, when you purchase anything off the site, use code SGB. You get 10% off, and we get kickback. I think it's like a 10% kickback. So go ahead and buy it all. Buy all the flavors. I'm drinking some right now. I got some Dub Sludge up in here. Help keep me alert and awake, energetic for this show. And I love it. It's fantastic. I don't know about you, Adrian, but this stuff's good, especially Galaxy Grenade. That's probably my favorite one, I think.
See, you got through the whole Dubby section and I didn't even give you grief. I could have loaded up our patented Dubby ad, but I let you have it.
I know what I know what you and JJ are capable of, but
yeah.
So yeah, if you are looking for an energy drink that, no crash, no jitters, no sugar, gluten-free, all the things, it's has patented neurofactor. I don't know what that is, but it apparently helps me think good. And you know what? I do. I drink it when I work in the morning, and I get lots of work done. So I just blame it on Dubby. Dubby does good things, does miracles, especially if you listen to anything JJ or Adrian have said over the last couple weeks. All right, that is it for the ad. Now, let's get back to the show. All right. This is the part of the show where I ask you, Adrian, what you playing?
So in preparation for book club, I am definitely playing 2064. Still fantastic, but I know a good question that people are going to ask me. Adrian, you just bought a shiny, gigantic, really nice premium Switch OLED. That's where you're playing 2064, right? And the answer is no. I'm playing it on Vita.
No.
There's a reason for that.
The audacity.
It is much easier to carry around my Vita and play 2064 than it is my gigantic Switch OLED. Granted, both fit in my backpack, but with the Switch, I feel like you have to take out the whole case thing. Then you have to make sure you have the room to really comfortably use it. But my Vita, I'm right here. I'm at home right here. And it's also an OLED, so I'm not really missing out on any picture quality or anything like that.
That's
and
true.
It's not an intensive game, so I don't have to worry about performance. It's the same exact experience It just would have been bigger on a Switch OLED.
So it's basically,
I'm not really missing anything.
Basically like playing on a Switch Lite. Like the smaller
if
screen.
It was OLED.
Still no. It's better screen than the Switch Lite even has too. So
yeah. So that's where I'm at.
All right. I can forgive that. Dude, that's awesome. I think I can't remember if it was before the show I told you or if it was during the show, but I've not played much of the game. I play a little bit and I really enjoyed what I've played, but I've been so busy just editing day and night. My lunch
living
breaks,
your dream.
Forget eating lunch, I'm editing. Forget spending time with my wife and kids, I'm editing.
I was gonna say your wife has to come down here and make sure you're still alive.
I've just been in editing mode, getting all the stuff ready for October. Literally day, like you think I'm exaggerating. It's literally what it's been.
No,
I
don't. I absolutely don't. Knowing how much you like to do this stuff, I know you're not. I know you're not exaggerating even a little bit.
But what I have been doing is in the few minutes that maybe I'm waiting for a render to go through, or I am scarfing down some food, I've been watching One Piece.
No way. Where Dude. Are we gonna have to do our check-in? Should we do our ungaming related check-in on One Piece?
Sure. Yeah, we could do a check-in here.
Where are you at? What is going on? For the uninitiated, Garrett is watching One Piece for the first time ever, and he has been keeping me abreast of where he is in the story so far, and I am loving every minute of it. I love to see when people start their One Piece journey, and I love to hear like it's so fun for me to know where you are and to know like what's in the great beyond for you, and just to be like, you have no idea, my guy. Sorry,
so
go ahead.
I am on episode 14, where I think it's probably the last episode of the section I'm at, where it's you meet Usopp. Usopp, yeah, you meet Usopp, and like pirates are trying to attack the town, and they've been fighting them off and stuff. Literally, the episode just started up with Clado. I don't know. I forget the guy. He was pretending to be the butler. He's actually a pirate trying to steal the money.
Oh, okay. From the girl. You already know. I was like, I'm not gonna. Okay.
Yeah. No. Yeah. He just got to the beach, and he's like, "Where the heck have you guys been?" Like, he's just about to basically like whoop some butt here. Like, he's like, I'm getting ready to kill you guys because you've ruined my plan. And that's like where I left off right at the beginning of episode 14. Boy, this show is a roller coaster. I tweeted out the other day, and yeah, I that's another time I noticed. I was like, oh, you're not on social media. I totally forgot you were doing that. I tweeted out, as like the one. Let me just look it up here. There's something with like the characters in this arc. This blew my mind. That's the biggest thing with this show, is the characters are just absolutely bonkers, which I am enjoying. But I think I tweeted out a couple weeks ago about like the one.
You were like, "What even is this show?"
The one clown, the one clown dude, and he's like, "I'm so angry I can't even fart." I'm like, "What the heck? Like, who says something like that?" And then yesterday it was the collaboration no one asked for, but One Piece gave us Michael Jackson and Freddy Krueger. Like the one pirate who just like moonwalks everywhere, and even does like all the Michael Jackson moves, and he's like, but he like hypnotizes people. And then freaking whoever this Claudor or whatever, I can't remember his name, the butler dude.
I know who you're talking about.
He has like the Freddy Krueger like finger like blades, and I'm just like, what the heck? Like, working together, what is this? It's so crazy.
You tweeted out, you were like, what even is this show? And then I told you, because the way you said it was like you were so confused about what's going on. And I said, you're gonna be, if you keep going, you're gonna be saying that same exact sentence, but it's gonna have a much different meaning behind it, because you're gonna be like, what even is this show? I guarantee it.
But no, so that's the thing. Overall, like, I am super enjoying One Piece. Like, it's at the point where I'm like, when's the next time I can watch an episode? Like, when's the next time I can sneak an episode in? Like, I
got a long flight coming up.
And I really like, I know everyone says like watching it subbed is better, But the problem with that is you just have to read. You got to
pay attention.
Because I'm so like when I work, I'm used to watching shows and like TV shows, YouTube, whatever. I'm used to watching something on my third monitor because it's like I'm using my 2 monitors to work and I got a third monitor where I can just like have something going on in the background that I'm listening to and maybe once in a while glancing over at. And so that's my biggest bummer is I want to watch this, but I'm like, I can't sit and read subs all day because I gotta work.
I mean, if you want to watch the dub, go ahead. I've never watched it, so okay. I mean, I haven't watched it since. Granted, it was a different cast, but like back in 2002 or 3 when it was on 4Kids, like.
Okay.
But yeah. It was basically a different show back then with how different the dub was. But the one now is really good from what I hear. So if you need to watch it dubbed, you can. That'll probably help with getting you through it.
Yeah, because I was like, I could literally, because that's the other thing I love is how short the episodes are. It's like, oh, I have like 20 minutes right now to watch an episode. Like, it's crazy how quick you can get through them. And I was like, man, if I could just sit and watch those for 8 hours a day, like I'd fly through this series, like just watching 20-minute episodes all day.
Yep.
Oh man, I'd be able to get through it so quickly.
Maybe try an episode of the dub, see how you like it. Mm-hmm. And then if you dig it, then just keep it with that.
Okay. Yeah, I need to might try it out and just see how it goes. But yeah, I'm enjoying it, and I didn't think it would grab me like that the other day. So I haven't told Judy about it because she doesn't care. Like she does not like animated stuff at all. Like I tried to get her to watch other animated shows, like even like Star Wars Bad Batch on Disney Plus, or like the Star Wars Visions, and just we've talked about watching Clone Wars. Everyone's like, oh, I gotta watch Clone Wars, like, and I just can't do it. She doesn't like animated stuff, at least TV series. She'll watch like a movie. So yeah, I've been watching it and just like didn't even bother saying anything. But the other day I was watching it. I gave my kid a bath, and I was just sitting in the bathroom watching him, because he's a kid and I don't want him to drown in the bathtub. So he's in there playing in the tub, and I'm sitting on the bench just like watching an episode. She walks in, she's like, "What are you watching?" I'm like, it's an anime. Like I didn't even know.
I'm watching
where to
one
begin.
of the greatest pieces of fiction that has ever been made in modern history. That's what I'm doing.
Like I almost felt like I didn't feel like I just got caught, but I just didn't know how to respond. So I came across that way, like unintentionally. Like I really just meant to say like, oh, I'm watching like an anime or like whatever.
Tell her I'm getting cultured. That's what you do.
Because it was just like I just was so caught off guard or whatever, and I realized like, oh, she didn't realize I was even watching. I was like, an anime, and she's like, oh, what? Or she knows what it is. She's like, what is it? And I'm like, oh, it's nothing. It's a good show. It's like something Adrian recommended, but it was funny. Like I accidentally made it sound worse than it was. Like
you could have been like, oh, it's about pirates. Done. Yeah,
there you go. It's about pirates. That's the other thing. I just didn't know how to explain it either. I'm like, it's an anime. It's about like I don't know. I didn't really know how to. She's like, it's fine, whatever. But yeah, man, I'm liking it. I'm enjoying it.
Yes. I'd love to hear it.
It drives me crazy that you keep doing this to me. You keep recommending things, and just now I'm a big fan of something that it's like I have enough hobbies. I have enough things that I like. And then you're just making me like more things and have more hobbies, and it drives me crazy. Like
this is one though, dude. This is like core. Like if I was a game character and you killed me, like it would be like something One Piece related on me. Like I finally scheduled my appointment to get like my first tattoo ever, and it's gonna be a One Piece tattoo.
Really?
That's how much I friggin' love this series.
That's awesome. All right. Yeah. I mean, I plan on continuing to watch, so stay tuned for our segment called One Piece at a Time. No,
fine,
so what's funny?
I'll take it.
So what's funny? I think I made that joke to you a couple weeks ago. I'm like, oh, we should do a segment called One Piece at a Time. And I totally Googled it. That's already a podcast that someone does called One Piece, where they're literally watching it and doing like episode by episode discussions. I'm like, God dang it, that would have been.
We'll have
so
to
awesome.
workshop a name then. We'll have to workshop a name.
Yeah.
We can do it.
We could just start a whole new podcast where we just talk about it.
I mean, I'm not opposed to this, but we'd have to hit that $100 so we can like start our IRL stuff outside of Gamer Boy stuff.
Right? Support us at Patreon,
it's up to you.
Please. All right. Thank you guys all so much for listening to the show. We appreciate each and every one of you who come by each and every week and listen to us on podcast services around the globe. Watch us at youtube.com/supergamerboys. We really couldn't do it without you because, without your views and feedback, what are we even doing over here? So if you really love what we do and want to help support that financially, that helps tremendously, whether it's buying equipment, funding my W stock so I can get through editing all the show, no, and nothing like that, but it definitely helps us with, equipment, games, whatever it might be for doing show stuff. Patreon.com/supergamerboys. Please think about supporting us over there. Helps a lot. And we appreciate all those folks over there so much. And I sent, in my last post I put out on Patreon, I mentioned it, but I'll mention it here on the show. We're planning on releasing some of the Spooky Gamer Boys stuff early over at Patreon. So if you want to get stuff, I don't know, like a week before everyone else, might want to support us over there. Might want to check it out. So think about that. Think about it. And while you're thinking about it, go take a look at sgbstore.com where you can buy some cool merch. We got t-shirts, we got coffee mugs, we got phone cases. We got it all. A lot of fun stuff anyways over there. So think about supporting us that way as well. And yay, that makes you like a nice little billboard in your hand. A little Super Gamer Boys mug with our cute little faces on it and our logo. So go check that out. Remember, w.gg, you can use our code SGB to get 10% off. Rate and review us where you can. Subscribe on YouTube. Like 66.8% of you watch our YouTube videos and do not subscribe. So please
and we're
subscribe.
grateful that you watch. But
thank you for watching.
We just want to know you're out there.
It's free to subscribe. It doesn't cost anything. And you can just turn off notifications. If you don't care to ever watch us again, then just turn off notifications. That's all it takes.
That's it.
Shout out to Jack Sriracha and Yate for allowing us to use their music on our show. Find them on Spotify, please. Go listen to them. Find them on Apple Music. They make incredible stuff, and we are very much appreciative of their works and allowing us to use them. SuperGamerBoys.com, Twitter and Instagram at SuperGamerBoys. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at @GMorlang. Adrian, where and when can they maybe find you, or is it just indefinite at this point?
No, it was only for like a few days. I just needed like a
little
just an immediate, how when a printer's acting up, you can turn it off and turn it back on again. It was like that. I just needed a quick 3-day turnaround. So you can find me any and everywhere at Homeboy. All right.
There you have it. And you can find JJ Purdom somewhere in the United States. Where in the world is JJ Purdom? It's like the next Carmen Sandiego game.
You can find him at your local restaurant picking up lunch for his boss and whatever else he needs him to do. That's not his job.
Or if it's anything like the other night when we tried to record, he was supposed to be at the recording at 7:30, and instead he FaceTimes us from a Mexican restaurant somewhere and says
he was at Casa Bonita for some reason.
Yeah, we're like, what the heck? He's like, I'll be home in 15 minutes. An hour and a half later, he finally gets home. Like, thanks, dude. You're supposed to start recording. Hashtag JJ sucks. But all right, Adrian, take us away.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for hanging out with us this evening. We appreciate anybody who listens and watches and supports us in any way and every way. For Garrett, the Colonel Morlang, and for me, Adrian, the Homeboy Holmes, we are the Super Gamer Boys.
And we will catch you on the flippity flop.
Watch One Piece.
Watch One Piece. Watch One Piece. Watch One Piece.
And thank you later.
Watch One Piece.